Livestock 247 is all about livestock. It's livestock 247, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and .com, meaning it's an online platform that brings together various stakeholders in the livestock value chain. We have the buyers, we have the sellers, we have haulage companies, we have veterinary professionals, we also have butcheries and abattoirs, financial services to providers on the same platform. Meaning where ours is just a platform that brings together ease. We give to the buyer convenience, quality, and affordability of pricing, in the sense that you now have an opportunity from wherever you are for now in Lagos or Port Harcourt or Abuja or Enugu that we are delivering, to go on your device, laptop, smartphone, click on livestock247.com and make a purchase of either a goat, a ram, or a cow. You pay online and it is delivered to you on the condition that whatever you're buying, we're assuring you that whatever you're buying on our platform is fit for slaughter. That is a key objective and a vision of Livestock 247. We are in business to mitigate the spread of zoonotic diseases, what is called animal to human diseases. Of course, the World Organization of Animal Health Countries, that most of us are aware, which is like the WHO for animals, has given a statistic that 75% of infectious human diseases emanates from animals. So what we're trying to do is that we promote a healthy eating lifestyle of livestock, whereby the buyer now buys fit for slaughter livestock that has been checked, certified, fit for slaughter by our own in-house veterinary department. So that's just Livestock 247 in brief. Livestock247.com is actually the first online livestock market in Nigeria. And we want to take our rightful spot in Africa. I mean, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. We're not just supposed to be giant of Africa in just in name, by name calling. We want to really step in and create an industry that's very, very structured from Nigeria. And back to your question, the vision is, like I said, if you go to our website and you click on our About Us page, our vision is to mitigate the spread of animal to human disease transmission in Africa. But we're starting with Nigeria. It's a tall order and we're very serious about that. And we know in order to achieve that, we have to do some things, back end and the front end. And one of those things is to, first of all, structure the market. Make sure that we don't own the inventory. We have people that have been going to various cattle markets around the country to sell their cattle. And we go over there and tell them, so look, why should you, if you know how the cattle business has been existing in the north, you go to a place like Megatari in Jigawa State. The market day is on a Thursday. If you go to Megatari in Jigawa, Megatari cattle market is one of the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa. You go there on a Thursday, it's just like Apapa here. It's locked down. The transaction in Megatari on every Thursday is close to about 2 billion naira. We've seen traders from Mauritania to Megatari. We've seen cattle routes from Morocco to Katsina, from Central African Republic to Mubi in Taraba State. These are cattle routes that have been existing. So what we are currently doing is to tell them, so look, why should you wait for a Thursday in Megatari to go and sell your cattle? Why? We are giving you a borderless access 247. That is what Livestock 247 stands for. If you go to Megatari on a Friday, nobody will be there. They've moved on to, let's say, they're on their way to Ilela in Sokoto, and the market day is on a Sunday. So this is the pattern. They move from one town to the other, from one market day to the other. But what we're saying is that you are restricting yourself to location. Livestock 247 gives them access, borderless, no limitation in terms of duration. When you are listed with your inventory on Livestock 247, after we've verified that it is fit for slaughter, a buyer somewhere in Ikorodu in Lagos can wake up around 10 p.m. in the night and decide to buy a cow. Why should we stop him from doing that? Why should we stop him from enjoying this, convenience that technology has brought? That is what we're essentially doing. So that buyer in Ikorodu can wake up in the middle of the night and decide to buy a cow because he has to go and pay maybe homage or a cultural reason to his new bride. And he doesn't have to go to Megateri. You that used to go to Megateri, you don't have to be in Megateri. As long as you've listed your livestock on your inventory on Livestock 247, as long as this buyer has an account on Livestock 247, we bring you people together. He pays, you get paid, he gets his cow, and you allow us. It's like he's outsourcing the back end inconveniences to Livestock 247. We sort out that feed for slaughter, we sort out his transportation needs, and we bring it to him in Ikorodu, wherever he is. This is what we are doing, and this is the vision. We are enabling commerce, we are bringing the country together. We are also now discouraging people from serious moving with cash from one place to the other. So there is financial inclusion, there is healthy living, there is enhancement of commerce, and along the line, a lot of jobs will be created. That is the vision, and that is what we are all about. I must tell you that the future is very bright, and it's so exciting, and we're privileged to be and honored to be pioneers in this. And I know there's definitely going to be some copy and paste. It's part of those things. And when you are a pioneer in your industry, a lot of people will look up to it. But before we got here, we've been in the animal space for quite a number of years. We started about 6 to 7 years ago, trying to solve a serious problem that has been disturbing people in the north. We wanted to solve the problem of cattle rustling by, coming up with a technology that could enhance and help in the authentication and the verification of ownership of cattle. We looked around various models globally. The animal identification thing has been evolving from coal branding to tattooing to tag air tags, and then we settled on a simple technology in partnership with one of the biggest telecoms in the country. We created and we patented that technology in partnership with that company, and then we created what's now called an animal identification and management system. Let me tell you something that a lot of people missed out. When we were doing that, we discovered that Nigeria as a country is a signatory to the OIE. That's the World Organization of the Animal Health Countries. The OIE sets conventions and regulations around animal movement, traceability, and management globally. If you don't have a functional animal identification system in your country, you cannot key into the international animal trade business. The WTO, in conjunction with the OIE and the UNFAO, all came together to establish this regulation. First of all, to mitigate the spread of animal to human diseases, disease surveillance, and so on and so forth. But locally, we saw it as, okay, we wanted to solve a cattle rustling problem. So we virtually stumbled on something massive. And we discovered that Nigeria, before Livestock 247, you could not export 1 kilogram of beef out of Nigeria legally. Do you know that? A lot of people don't know that. Our Nigeria was not listed in the global index of livestock exporting countries, simply because there's no data. The last time that there was an animal survey in this country was 1991. 1991, based on a RIMS funding by a UK firm came to Nigeria in partnership with the Department of Livestock Production of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and did a survey in 1991. Back then in 1991, they did a survey, and it has been that survey that we've been estimating on a yearly basis on the growth of our livestock sector. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture released a survey 2016 based on the 2011 estimate of the 1991 survey. So you could say that data is not backed by any scientific. So virtually what I'm telling you today is that there's no accurate data as regards to who owns what in terms of livestock, where who owns what. We are currently using the UNFAO statistics of 2013 that says Nigeria has 20 million cattle. We also discovered that Nigeria has 43% of the entire livestock density of West Africa is in Nigeria. With all these statistics, we also discovered that Nigeria has the largest livestock market in terms of consumption in Lagos. Lagos is the largest livestock market in terms of consumption because Lagos slaughters over 6,000 cows a day. These are all mind-blowing statistics while we were trying to solve the problem of cattle rustling. So we saw the opportunities, and we see thousands of trucks moving up and down the country on a weekly basis. Thousands thousands of cattle pass in a week. We did a survey and we discovered almost 50,000 cattle come to the south on a weekly basis. There is no structure around it. It is not captured formally. There is no financial inclusion. Nobody cares to know whether these are diseased or not. So this is what really inspired us. And as we stepped in to solve the cattle rustling problem, we saw that this is bigger than cattle rustling. We want to create an industry whereby people could come into Nigeria and establish beef processing plants. Without a structure, without identification, nobody will take you serious, because there's what they call globally traceability from farm to plate. If you go to all the developed economies, Europe or America, and you order for a plate of steak, they can actually tell you that this meat that you are eating is coming from a particular farm somewhere. That is traceability from farm to plate. That's why, for instance, a global brand like McDonald's, you don't see a McDonald's brand in Lagos. Why? Simply because there's no traceability. You go to Namibia, a country of less than 2 million people, you have a lot of McDonald's franchises in Namibia, but a city of 23 million. Lagos is one of the exponentially growing mega cities globally. But you don't have global brands like the McDonald's, the Subways, the Burger King here in Lagos, simply because we don't have a functional, structured livestock sector that can give them fit for slaughter, traceable livestock. So this is what Livestock 247 is stepping into. We have big chains of shopping malls opening up in Nigeria. Unofficially, they import beef from neighboring African countries to the detriment of our livestock industry. The major challenge that we are currently trying to solve is, people are used to e-commerce now. E-commerce is something that is taking hold in Nigeria, and before Livestock 247, I don't think there's any functional, full-fledged livestock online market like this. We had some variants of different sorts, but people are used to generic e-commerce sites that you can go and see. Maybe you want to buy a phone, or you want to buy a belt, and you just see a belt and a phone. We're talking about livestock here. So the experience of buying something that's inanimate, sort of, online through an e-commerce site is different when you're buying livestock. We are very, very keen about our customers. We sometimes give more preference to security than flexibility. When you go to much e-commerce sites, it's just plug and play. But we think the transactions on Livestock 247 are not, with all due respect, are not 2,000, 1,000 naira transactions. There are a couple of thousands and hundreds of thousands. So we play a very, very serious role in terms of authenticating. If you create an account, our customer care, we want to give you that, not an automated experience. The interface with our platform is always human. The moment you register, our customer care people will call you, we'll have to vet you. That's our own security checks and all these things. So people are not used to that a lot. They think that this is cumbersome. But to us, we're trying to give you an experience. It's not just about buying a cow and slaughtering it and eating. It's about tracing it. We want to give you an experience. The moment you place an order and you're buying one cow, that cow has a unique identification number. What you buy online will be what will be delivered to you offline. So for us to maintain that experience, new things must play. We have to, if you want to know the route that cow is following, we can tell you that. You want to know the truck that brought that cow to Lagos, we can give you that. You want to know the truck number, the driver's name, the driver's phone number, we can give you that. You want to know the exact time that arrived Lagos, we can give you that. Why are we doing that? Because ours is not just about collecting money from buyers and giving it to sellers. No, it's about disease control. It's about traceability. It's about disease surveillance. If there's an outbreak, for instance, of mad cow in a particular state in Nigeria, we can now quarantine, we can now avoid that area for our buyers. This is something that's new. So this experience, our need to ensure that all these processes are followed makes some of our customers, you are wala too much. This is one of the things that we're going through. And another thing is, people are not used to paying before they want to go to a cattle market and see and buy. That's another experience that we're trying to. So we've kind of visualized that. You can actually go on Livestock 247, see all our picture galleries, see the weight ranges, and see the prices, and make your decision. People are used to, okay, when you bring it, then I'll pay. But what we're trying to explain is the same experience that you go to the cattle market. When you go to the cattle market, you rely on somebody because you don't know anything about cattle. You ask one person that is there, I beg, help me, I want to buy a big cow. How much is it? With all the paddings going on that you don't even know. What we're doing is exactly that, but we're doing it in a more transparent and straightforward manner. What you buy, if you want a 400 kg bull, we're assuring you get a 400 kg bull, fit for slaughter, certified by veterinary professionals, not quacks. That is what we do. So all these experiences are things that people are not used to. They say, okay, why don't you bring first before I pay? It doesn't happen that way on our platform because we don't own the inventory. Most e-commerce sites invest in inventory or have a quasi kind of arrangement with there. But what we're doing is, the owner of this cow probably is in Ilela in Sokoto State with his cow. We are not taking it out from him. We are vetting it, checking the health status. The buyer is in Lagos. So this guy in Ilela cannot give his cow to you in Lagos if you don't pay. So what we have, we are like the trust protocol. You trust us, he trusts us. So you pay us, we pay him. We collect from him. After satisfying that it is fit for slaughter, we bring to you. And we have transport companies in between that also registered on our platform. We give them our condition that, okay, these animals must be treated humanely. We don't want them to be cramped, to be taken, to be driven for days without water for 1 week. We don't do that. We have our standard processes. It has to be 2 days, and if it is 2 days journey, they have to break somewhere. I mean, you have to refreshen them, you have to give them water, blah, blah, blah. These are things that all our haulage companies that are registered with our platform must go through. So these are the things that people are not used to, and they're still, but we believe with so much with education and with interaction with people like you that we're blowing this message so that people really understand our deliverables and our offering. These are the challenges that we see so far. And I think with proper education and sensitization, some of them are getting around it. Some of them are feeling, it truly makes sense. If you can save a little bit and you are going to save your life, you are saving some money and you are saving all this stress just for a few, 1, 2, or 3,000 more than the normal way that you go with all the attendant inconveniences.